What's up YouTube, it's your girl AK and we are back with another weekly market analysis video, and we are looking at, of course, the JPY pairs, right? So I am focusing mainly on AUDJPY, right? We had a great amazing move that we caught last week, right? Really amazing move. A lot of y'all ate in the Telegram, shout out to y'all. But yeah, it was really cool. Kind of looking to see what next week's gonna do, kind of give like an idea, my analysis for that. I'm also looking at GJ, right? GJ is moving really nicely as well. See a lot of great potential moves coming up as well. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about gold. I'm not really looking at gold this week, but let's talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, something I do want to trade and that we did trade last week was AUDJPY, right? We had a beautiful move to the upside, right? So again, we noticed that right here we were in this downtrend, right? The 4 hour, we had this nice shift of structure to the upside and we were pushing up. Now I closed out around this area because I thought, you know, on a daily, you know, this was just a pullback, which it still can be a pullback, right? But I was kind of looking to get out around this, like, you know, potential resistance area, right? But price had a different plan. It just shot straight through it, right? In fact, if I would have held and kept held into this next cycle level, I would have made double of what I made last week, which is insane to me because I made a lot last week. So that's just crazy to me, just thinking about that. But before we get into it, let me just do a full breakdown of AUDJPY to get an idea of what we're looking at for the week. Okay, so I just hit my drawings and we're looking at this on the weekly time frame. So as you can see on the weekly, we just made a new weekly high. We closed above, right? So we are bullish on the weekly time frame. So we can say that we are bullish on the weekly for AJ. Okay, now when it comes to the daily time frame, I'm a little conflicted on my bias, a little bit, and I'm gonna show you why. Okay, so in a nutshell, it looks like, you know, we're bearish, right? Because we broke structure right here, right? Broke structure, and I thought again that the daily was coming back for this pullback. We had a big push up. Now the reason I'm a little conflicted is because when I look at my line chart, right, it looks a little different. So here again, if you look here, this was support, right? This was daily support and we broke it. But if I look at this on that line chart, I noticed something that I didn't really notice like last week. Right here, price, okay, we broke structure, right? Boom. Price had a slight push up, right? We dropped and then we broke that daily high. So now I'm thinking, did we shift bullish on the daily and not even realize it? So I'm kind of conflicted. I don't know if I can count this one little candle as like a high, you know. That's why I'm a little conflicted. But the weekly is also showing very bullish as well. So this is like one of those situations where you kind of have to use your own like intuition of what you think. So originally I was thinking that we weren't bullish until we broke, you know, this daily resistance. But if I was to count this as like a potential high, then in that case we would have the structure down here and the daily would be bullish. So I'm just having a hard time like determining if this one little candle is bullish. I mean, if this one little candle is a high or not. I think I'm gonna just judge off of this line chart, to be honest. Like based off the line chart, like this would be a shift of structure. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that the daily is bullish for now, because of like how the line chart's looking. I kind of missed it last week, I'm not gonna lie. And if I would have knew that, I would have definitely held this trade way longer than this level. I'm not gonna lie, I would have held it to the next cycle level. But it's all good. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking to see what we got going on for this. But for right now, I'm gonna mark the daily as bullish because of the line chart and how it looks on the line chart, right? That's just what I'm doing. If you believe something else, mark it up differently, okay? I'm just gonna do it based off of this, right? Okay, so here's the 4 hour time frame, right? We are currently bullish on the 4 hours. As you can see, we have been making higher highs and higher lows, right? We had a nice, great push to the upside that we actually caught last week. Shout out to y'all if y'all caught it. And we are currently sitting at this psychological level. So I'm kind of looking to see what price wants to do with this cycle level, right? I'm noticing that we are starting to see some buyer exhaustion right here. In fact, if you go to the daily, you can see that the last daily candle closed as a doji, kind of signifying, hey, we might have some, you know, some sellers. We might have some exhaustion from the buyers from right now. Not saying that the daily is bearish or, you know, that I think we're going to sell long term, but I do think pretty soon you're going to see a little bit of, you know, some bearish candles form, just from the price action. So I'm kind of paying attention to this 4 hour structure to see if we end up breaking 4 hour structure. Right now we kind of have these equal highs right here, right? So price, we came up, right, made a low, and then we made an equal high. So I'm kind of watching to see what price wants to do. I might end up dropping down to like a 2 hour just to see a little bit better, right? Or maybe a 1 hour, because again, I can see a lot clearer than on the 2 hour. Made a high, came down, another high, and then right here I'm starting to see that structure starting to shift. Like right here we're breaking structure on 2 hour, right? So I'm looking to see if we're gonna keep making lower highs, you know, off of this level and potentially have like a small short-term sell. This is what I'm kind of watching for. So I'm just keeping an eye out for AUDJPY to see what we do. If we do sell, it's probably going to be like a daily pullback. So again, we had this nice big push on the upside on the daily. So if we do come down, it's probably gonna be like something slight, maybe to this level, and then, you know, another push up if the daily is bullish, right? Kind of what I'm watching for. I just like to watch the 4 hour, see what the 4 hour gives me. Mainly when I trade, I'm trading 4 hour direction no matter what. So we're just gonna pay attention to the structure to see what happens. But yeah, so far everything is pretty much bullish in my eyes. Yeah, we're gonna see what price wants to do. Okay, so GJ is something else I'm actually looking at as well, right? So let me jump to a weekly, just kind of give you an idea. So weekly time frame, we are indeed bullish. As you can see, price, we have closed above this high right here, right? So we closed above the high, making our weekly time frame bullish. If I jump down to a daily, same thing, right? We were at one point, we were selling, right? We broke structure, but price came all the way back up and we broke structure up here, making the daily bullish as well. And in the 4 hour time frame, same thing. We're just making highs. Like we're just super bullish on GJ. So yeah, if I pull up my chart, you can see that, yeah, like all time frames we were bullish. I love that. Now I can't really enter a buy up here, right? I can't enter all the way up here. I need price to give me some kind of pullback. So I'm actually gonna wait for some kind of pullback, potentially either on the 4 hour or on the daily time frame. So kind of what I'm watching for GJ, I'm looking to see if this 4 hour wants to come back to this potential level. So right here, we broke structure here, right? I'm gonna kind of draw like a fib tool to see if price wants to give me some kind of retracement to the downside, right, on this 4 hour, and then a push up to the upside. So it's kind of what I'm watching for. Now, if price decided to actually break 4 hour support, so again, 4 hour support would be right here. So this would be my 4 hour support. So if price actually decided to come down but actually break 4 hour support, in that case I would jump to a daily and I would look for a bigger daily retracement. So right here I see, okay, well, we broke 4 hour support. This might just be a, you know, retracement on the daily, right? So at that point I would draw a daily area interest where I'm looking for price to come back to. Last place we broke structure was here, right? And I'll probably draw a bigger fib on the daily for a bigger daily pullback. Yeah, and of course you can always trade down the 4 hour pullback if you want to. It's up to you. But all in all, I'm looking for some kind of pullback, either on the 4 hour or on the daily. I need some kind of pullback to show me, hey, price, we're grabbing liquidity and we're looking to make higher highs. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for GJ. Very straightforward. We're just waiting for a pullback on either 4 hour or the daily, and then we're looking to continue to the upside. So pretty simple. So with gold, I'm not really interested in gold right now, and it's just ranging a little too much for me, right? So right here we did have a breaker structure on the 4 hour, right? 4 hour breaker structure, and then we're kind of failing to make highs. So if you see right here, you know, usually when we have like a pullback, we expect a big push up. So right here, price, we had this pullback, right? Pullback, we get to the golden zone, you expect a strong push to the upside, right? A big, strong, you know, bullish push, but we didn't really get that. In fact, price is actually kind of starting to fail to make new highs. If you notice right here, price, this high is lower than this high, right? And this high is lower than this high. So it's like, okay, we're getting lower and lower. We're not really pushing strong anymore, but we also haven't broken the swing low either. So we're kind of in the range right now, and y'all know I do not like trading ranges. I prefer a nice, you know, either bullish trend or a nice strong bearish trend. And right now we're not really getting either. We're just in a range, and I don't like trading ranges. So I need to see price break out either above, right, to look for a buy. So either a break and retest above to continue buying, or I need to see price break support, retest to continue selling, right? It's one or the other. I'm not trading this zone at all, so I'm not really looking at gold. I was trying to get into buys last week, and again, like, I was trying to buy this retracement. It was a pullback, right? Price, it gave me A, B, C was a pullback, right? But price never actually, you know, had momentum to break above. So it stopped me out, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just wait to see what gold does. So I'm not trading gold right now. I'm kind of watching it. I'll set some alerts like up here and down here to see what it wants to do, but as of right now, I'm not watching gold. And yeah, that is pretty much all I'm looking for. Just looking at AJ and looking at GJ. Really looking at GJ. But AJ could give us potential sales early on and maybe a bigger push up to the upside. But overall, yen pairs are looking pretty bullish, so I'm liking it. Some of y'all want me to look at other instruments. I don't mind doing that, but probably won't do it on YouTube. But if you join my Telegram and you add me and you're like, hey, Autumn, I want you to look at this pair, I don't mind looking at it, you know. So you can go ahead and do that if you want to, and I will gladly take a look at it and give you, you know, my analysis on it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, I hope you have a great, amazing, wonderful trading week. Y'all stay blessed. Bye.